What's up people, welcome back to another video. Today's video is a little bit different. I've had quite a few questions recently about dieting, how do I stick to my plan, etc. So I've just started dieting again so I can get back in shape over the next 6 to 8 weeks, hopefully to a point where I can get on stage, show my physique. This time it's going to be tough because I'm going to go the leanest I've ever been to be able to compete and get on stage and look the best. People have asked me like, how do I stick to my plan? I've got a plan but I keep falling off, etc, etc. I'm going to share with you my 5 tips that have helped me get through the dieting phase and make sure that I get the most out of it, and at the end of it get kind of bring out the physique that I want to bring out. Tip number 1, you've got to prepare your food in advance. Now that could mean a number of things for different people. For me, I used to work out of town when I first started dieting maybe 3 years ago, and I used to prepare my food before the day basically. So I used to travel an hour and 15, hour and 20 to get there, an hour and 15, hour and 20 to get back. And I had to be in the office for around 8 o'clock, so we'd leave quite early, which means that I had to prepare my meals in advance, i.e. either the night before or in the morning. I'd prepare it the night before. Now whilst I don't want to tell everyone put your food in the microwave, sometimes you got to think about the bigger picture. You're traveling or you need to go into the office, so you've got to take your food prepared with you. You've already got a plan, which means either you've got a coach who's given you a plan or a PT that's given you a plan, or you've calculated your macros through something like MyFitnessPal, so you know kind of what you need to eat on a daily basis. If you get prepared in advance of what you're going to eat for that day, it's less likely that you're going to start picking at things in the cupboard or buying something from the canteen that's going to throw you off, because once you've had one thing, you're more than likely to, let's try this or let's have that, or I've already ruined it for the day. Also making sure that you have kind of the right utensils to do that, the right Tupperware. I used to have kind of everything ready, set. Night before I'd put it in the fridge, those things that needed to go into the fridge, or I'd have it out ready, just pick up my bag and go. Preparing in advance is so important because you're less likely to fall off and you're ready, set to go. If anything does come your way, you've got your food ready there. But those are things you need to think about, like kind of to get you through the day, because when you don't have the food ready, it's just too difficult to do that. Now if you're working from home, like I will prep my food first thing in the morning. I get up maybe 15-20 minutes earlier just to do that. So things like veg, I can prep in advance for the whole day, maximum 5 to 10 minutes to prep veg and get it ready, because you don't really need to cook it too much. I'd stick to the fresh veg more than frozen, because I just don't really think frozen is applicable. I've watched too much Gordon Ramsay to know not to have frozen food.
Please, I keep it fresh frozen.
Fresh frozen?
Yes, chef.
There's no such thing. It's either fresh or it's frozen.
Yes.
Things like rice as well, there's rice cookers out there, so you can prep that first thing in the morning. Obviously using scales will definitely help you as well, unless you're very good eye to eye with the food. I've kind of got to that stage now where I kind of know what it looks like, the amount that I need to eat, but I still use scales because it's just less likely that I'm going to get it wrong. So yeah, prepare your food.
What's up guys? So I've had my haircut, it's looking all trim. Popped into town, get a few bits. I need some coffee in my life right now. So my second tip for you guys, this has kind of worked for me. So the first time I did my cut, and each time that I've tried to diet and lose weight, I've always had a goal in mind. Have something in your mind that you're working towards. So my first one, I basically had a holiday planned, I think it was like 6 weeks. For me, I was already in decent shape at the time, but I really wanted to get down to that level where I could be on a beach and feel super comfortable and confident within myself. I would say have a goal, whether it's a holiday, a special occasion, something that you've got to look forward to. So what you can do is keep that in the back of your mind whilst you're going through your dieting period. When things are getting tough, you can kind of have that there available to you to always work towards, because it's a great picture to have in your mind. Whether you're male or female, it shouldn't make a difference. Like if you've got a good goal, that will help you reach towards that goal. Within that goal, give yourself a decent time frame. So the minimum, what I would say, is 8 weeks, but you've got to think about how much you want to drop. Anything between 0.5 and a kilo a week is a good drop. Anything more than that, it's a bit too much. So you want to kind of make sure that you've given yourself enough time. When it comes like towards the end, or even the first couple of weeks, maybe you might be really struggling, that will definitely help you. And giving yourself the right amount of time, that will make sure that you're not shot yourself in the foot. Because I know some people in the past have been, shit, I've got a holiday in 2 weeks, I need to get in shape. And it's like, 2 weeks, what can you do, you know? You don't want to not eat anything, because that's not the healthy way to do it. That's my tip number 2. The sun's out a little bit, so I thought I'd take a walk. So my tip number 3, you got to remember that it's a marathon, not a sprint. When it comes to like dieting and making sure you stick to your plan, you've got to play the long game. One of the things that will help you get through day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, that's when you need to understand. Sometimes with dieting, it can be like you need to take it on a day-to-day basis, sometimes hourly, sometimes by minutes, because your mind's going to play tricks on you. What's going to help you get through the day is trying to eat your meals a little bit later on. Starting your first meal later on in the day will definitely help. If you can, you know, kind of wait till maybe like 12, 1 o'clock to have your first meal, like breakfast, that's gonna give you more time to eat the other meals, so you shouldn't feel too hungry later on. You can do stuff in between, like for me, what works for me is drinking black coffees. Less chance that I'm gonna feel hungry in between. It just fills the gap for a little bit. Drinking loads of water as well. You need to be having between 2 to 3 litres of water a day. That just helps me get through the day. Also flushes the system out with toxins, and the more water you drink, I say 3 litres, less chance your body's gonna hold on to it, because you're putting it on a more regular basis. It will definitely help your skin and things like that as well. So the other thing that I do is drink the sugar-free drinks. I really like that Diet Pepsi Cherry. If I'm really hungry and I've got a long way to go to my next meal, it's like your pre-workout meal's next, but you've got ages to go before you work out, then you might want to get in like one of those sugar-free drinks to help out. Now, if I do have a sugar-free drink, then it's only going to be like 1 a day. It's going to be tough, like you've got to be disciplined, and I think that's what a lot of people can't hack, because the discipline required to diet for say 8 weeks, 12 weeks, maybe even longer if you're doing something like that, then it's going to take some time. Your body's in a deficient state, so your mind's going to play tricks on you. Your mind's going to be like, oh, just go eat that chocolate bar, go do this or go have that. And if you come into that, then you could blow everything out, because what happens is when you do get that sugar rush, you're more than likely to keep eating. So if there's a pack of cookies there, I know me, as soon as I have 1 bite, I'll want the whole thing. It's crazy, because the discipline's on the next level. The good thing that you learn from that discipline is you learn to curb hunger, which means if you can get past that state where your mind's like, you're hungry, you need to eat. If you can fight that, get past it, so it's easier to kind of get through the day or get through that hour to the next meal. So just remember those things for that part. But yeah, it's definitely a marathon, not a race, because the quicker and shorter time period you do it in, you're less likely to go back to things or eating the way you were. So tip number 4, guys, that I didn't get straight away is what I've noticed a lot of people do, and I used to do this myself, is weigh myself every day. Whilst I'm dieting, I'm like, yeah, better check how much I'm weighing, and you just weigh yourself every day. And now what happens is your weight fluctuates because of how much water you intake, what your salt intake's like, and also stress as well. So that can really mess with your mind, because one day you might be showing less, the other day you might be showing a little bit more. I would not recommend you to check your weight every day, because that is really going to play with your head, and you might even kind of give up or just go and eat loads of crap and spoil the whole diet, especially if you're like halfway through. When you do weigh yourself, pick 1 day a week where you weigh yourself. Good to take pictures as well, kind of like judge on the basis that, do I need to adjust anything or not? If you are losing weight, don't need to adjust anything, because it's working. What a lot of people do is they don't see the changes straight away, so then just adjust things straight away, and I think that's the wrong approach to have when it comes to dieting, especially in the beginning, because your metabolism might not fire up straight away. Yeah, give yourself time for that to happen, and when you do weigh yourself, just make sure you weigh yourself, obviously like we said, once a week. Take pictures and make sure you use a flat floor. A little bit out of breath, I don't know why, I think it's because I've just eaten a meal. So my final tip to you is don't overtrain. What I see a lot of people do is they'll do a workout, do cardio, and then they'll do things like football in the week. The only problem with that is you got to remember, when you're dieting, you're in a deficient state, which means you're more likely to get injured. Your recovery time's a lot slower. Ligaments and muscle groups and things like that, they take a lot longer to get back into like a state of recovery. If you are trying to do all these different things, then I would probably stay away from that and pick the one thing that's most important to you. If you are going to do cardio as well, I'd probably suggest you do something steady state, like maybe like a cross trainer or a stepper, just something that's steady, that gets your heart rate up to a level where you're, you know, burning fast. The thing with the football thing as well is what you're relying on is, yeah, whilst the cardio is great, you're back and forth running around, there's a chance that someone could, you know, go into you or injure you or hurt you. And I think in those instances, it's out of your control, which means that if you can stay away from that, try and stay away from it. If you can stay away from kind of doing too many sports in one go whilst you're dieting, please do, because overtraining is going to kill. And I think if you are doing the weightlifting thing like I am, then what works for me is sticking to single muscle groups. So instead of doing like 2 splits like chest and back and shoulders and arms and then, you know, repeating that again, it might be better to go back to like a single muscle group plan, like chest on one day, back on one day, because it just gives your body enough time to recover from those workouts. I think the other thing as well, which is a big thing for me, is sleep. Sleep's such a big thing. I think now that I've gotten older and with age, I kind of realize that sleep is a massive thing for one, your reaction time within how your reflexes are, your body healing itself, all of those sort of things. So if you can do the 8-hour stretch, amazing. For me right now, I'm at a stage where I'm only getting maybe 5.5 to 6 hours. I just hate not being able to sleep properly, but that's something that I need to work on. I'm trying to put things in place where I can get that good night's sleep so I can be fully rested. So when I do come to train or have a rest day or have a rest day plan, you know, I've still got enough sleep inside of me. From a reflexes point of view, like your percentage wise of your reflexes and your decision making is drastically decreased when you have lack of sleep. So yeah, sleep's a big thing. The food is your food. That's what's going to help you lose the body fat or the weight or whichever way you're trying to go. So that's the reason why I'm saying that sleep's very important. These are the things that have helped me. So I'm just trying to share with you guys the stuff that's worked for me or working for me. Just a bonus thing to add, if you've got a plan, stick to the plan. Whatever plan you've been given by your coach, your PT, or that you've done through, say, somewhere like MyFitnessPal for your macros, just stick to the plan. Don't deviate too much from the plan, because I know sometimes what happens is, oh, maybe I'll add this or maybe I'll try that. Just stick to your plan, because that's the way you're going to know. Your coach or PT is going to know how you're doing, what's working, what's not working, and for yourself as well. So if you've put yourself on a plan and it's a deficient plan, then you know you want to kind of see those results. And if you're doing things in between to go away from that, then your results ain't going to read too well, and it might cause some confusion to the point where you're like, I don't think this is working, or I need to try this, I need to try that. And because you've not given it enough time, you can't kind of see the benefits or see what's working, what's not working. Once you've achieved that, the discipline you can use towards other things in your life, especially when it comes to dieting, is just next level. But you'll be surprised, like that discipline that you can create from saying no to food for an hour, 2 hours until your next meal is a kind of a big thing. Yeah, just wanted to share that knowledge. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, make sure you put that in the comments. If you have a particular video that you want me to do along these sort of lines, then I'm happy to do that. Make sure you check out my music, which is linked down below, and make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for your time. Peace.